Holla, you know it's that time again, right? It is stretcher. It's the hand exercises. It's part 3 of the arthritis series, and today we're not going to just focus on the hand movement to help take away some of the dull achiness and the pain of arthritis that's not only in our fingers, but we're really going to focus on the wrist that gets impacted over time and carpal tunnel sets in around that wrist due to some overuse or where we place the position of our hands throughout our days, no matter if it's on a computer or if it's texting or if it's just overuse of those fingers through athletics or through our job professions, or even shifting a vehicle, being a farmer and utilizing that wrist over and over and over. But again, I'm going to show you 2 different exercises. One we've already done, and then I'm going to add that motorcycle exercise in there as well, just to focus really on that wrist where we're getting extension and flexion to try to eliminate or alleviate some of that discomfort, pain that you might have on an ongoing basis. So again, we're trying to prevent the surgery. If you're already having these symptoms, you probably already have some overuse, or you already have some arthritis issues, or you're already having some carpal tunnel symptoms that you're not going to necessarily be able to remove completely. We're just trying to prevent further damage as we go. So these are great exercises for you to put in to your routine each and every day as you grab onto that steering wheel. So now I am in my vehicle. This is a stretcher. It is part 3 of the arthritis series, where we're going to really focus on working on that finger movement to eliminate some of that arthritis and those symptoms, the dull achiness, and again, hitting the carpal tunnel. So again, 2 different exercises. Here they are. I'm your host, Jesse Swear, nationally recognized inclusive fitness trainer, silver sneaker flex instructor. You can find out more about me by visiting my website at www.jesseswear.com. Now, this is the traveling series. This is where I get the stretcher out in a remote location. As you can see, I'm in some parking lot right now, bringing you this edition. So if you're in your car, you pulled over to the side of the road, hopefully, sit up, take the seatbelt off, tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone, chest out, shoulders up, back and down, elongate, lengthen that spine, and get yourself ready to have a good old time working this wrist and these fingers. It doesn't matter if you have arthritis. You might not have it, but you're going to have it at some point in time. So again, prevention, or just prevention of furthering those symptoms along the way. And again, you know who's back. It's me, the style and profile. We only deal shaking and making moving that group. Camouflage wearing. Can't see me, but I'm wearing shorts. And I'm here giving you the high-flying, Audi driving, silver sneaker flex instructor routine. This is the stretcher, and we're going to go through them. So you ready? A few things, though. If you have any pain, discomfort, dizziness, pain, whatever they are, if you have any of those types of symptoms, right? Nauseated, pain, discomfort, dizziness, fatigue, hit the pause button. Come on back a little bit later. And the other thing is that virtual liability. I have to do this one. So if you should always consult with your physician before engaging in any physical activity program. By participating in this online exercise with me, you assume all dangers, hazard, risks of such participation. Exercises demonstrated by the instructor in this online class can be demanding. If you're unable to safely perform these exercises, again, please modify them or choose a different set of exercises. Again, if you're at home in that seated position, excellent. You can do this in the standing position. I am in my vehicle, so you can do this in your vehicle. You can do this in your office. Again, we're going to be working on the wrist, we're going to work on the fingers, and we're going to be reviewing some of those ABCs that we did with the fingers for arthritis, and then we're going to focus on the carpal tunnel with a little motorcycle exercise as well. So if you've never ridden a motorcycle, you're going to get to ride one today, and hopefully you come along with the ride with me in this part 3 of this series. The other thing is, ready to proceed to exertion. It is a 1 through 3. 1, being really low, you're relaxed, you're confident, you're pulled over to the side of the road, you're definitely not driving. 2, you're getting a little more energized, muscles are energized, blood's flowing, oxygen's pumping throughout the body. You're just feeling great. And if you get to that 3, you're just feeling a little bit too much pain, a little bit too much discomfort. You're intolerant to it. So again, pause, come on back, and you can take this a little bit later as you stretch out that wrist and stretch out those fingers as well through tendon glides or other exercise routines that I offer on my channel. The other thing is, pay attention to the rate of perceived exertion. Again, it is 1 through 3. If you get to that 3, knock it back down. Hydrate throughout. I do have some McCafe today, so I got my coffee. Hopefully you have yours and you're all prepared. And then from there, we will just continue to add other exercise routines into this series of exercises. So again, let's get moving. We're going to go from last week, or the arthritis series part 2, where I was showing you these ABCs and I was doing the C grip. Remember that C grip? I was doing the C grip, or I was just doing the OK sign with that C grip. We're going to walk them through and I'm going to expand a little farther with that C grip. So right now I'm taking that C grip where we'd grab onto a cup, or we would grab onto a pool, whatever you would grab onto, and you're taking that OK sign. But with that OK sign, you can see those fingers. Arthritis actually kind of pulls them through, so you get that contracture where you can't take those fingers straight up and down. As you see that OK sign, I can't take those fingers straight up and down. So on my left side right here, what I want to do is I want to take my offhand, if possible, and I want to straighten those fingers up, holding that OK sign. As you can see, that OK sign's held, and then I want to really straighten those fingers out. And if I straighten those fingers out, because they don't want to straighten naturally, I'll feel the stretch right here on the inside of that wrist. Now, the inside wrist is part of that carpal tunnel where you're feeling that pain and that discomfort. So now you're working 2 things here. You're working the arthritis of those fingers, the rheumatoid arthritis that typically happens in those fingers, and then you're getting that stretch right here through this inner part of that wrist, and you should be feeling it. And I know I'm feeling it as I push those fingers back and hold on to that OK sign right there. I'm holding on to it, and I'm really feeling it. Now, you can't see the grimace on my face, but there is a grimace on my face as I get that stretch. Now, you don't want to walk through each of those fingers, so clearly as I took that middle finger and did it, as you can see, those fingers are dropping as well, right? I can't straighten them out, so you'd want to straighten them out, and I'm trying to really push on all of them. So now you can just push on one. If you have one that's not going back as far, you can push on the other, but you want to try to keep them really back far and maintain that OK sign right there. As you can see, they're not straight up and down. And I want to try to get my fingers that are straight up and down. And then I go to that ring finger, and as you see, they're straight up and down. So when I get to the ring finger, hands, they go in correct position. But when I get to the other fingers, right, see that? So stretch, and then try to get those straight up and push them back, and really try to feel the stretch through here. So mainly where I feel that discomfort is when I get into that middle finger, stretching it back, when I'm on that OK sign right here. I really feel that stretch. And then when I get into the middle finger coming down the OK sign, so the pointer finger and the middle finger, typically, for me anyway, that's where I can really feel the discomfort in that inside part of the wrist. OK sign, push them back, get a nice stretch. Now, if you do one side, you definitely want to do the other side. Now, I know I've been covering my face up here. I'm dropping it down right now, and I can feel that discomfort as I really just try to push back, and push them back, and I'm really feeling right here, then I turn on the wrist. So I'm getting that carpal tunnel, but I'm also going back to part 2, and I'm stretching out those fingers that has the arthritis, the rheumatoid arthritis, or just the osteoarthritis, and I'm trying to remove some of the inflammation, and I'm trying to get more elasticity in those fingers, creating greater pliability, and then allowing my fingers so they don't contracture, so they can just go up and down nice and easy. And again, you can do an exercise like this, but we're not doing that today. We're doing that C, and we're expanding upon it. So if I go to that right side, we're going to do the same thing. As you can see, I can't get those fingers straight up and down. I'd want to try to really stretch them so that they're equal to each other, right, like that. You see that? So then they're equal. And then I want to just try to take that wrist back a little bit more and get that stretch of that carpal tunnel. So now on this side, on this right side, I'm not feeling as much of the discomfort as I am on that left side. So it's going to be different for each one of you. Where do you have the overuse? Where is that overuse mainly on each one of you? So typically, if you have a hand that you use all the time, that's the hand, that's the side that you're going to feel more of that inflammation, more of that dullness, more of that discomfort, because that's the sign that has the overuse. So we're reversed here. on this screen. So when I was showing you my left, that's really my right, and that's where I was really feeling. I was really feeling on my right side, and I'm right-handed, and I can tell that there's definitely some overuse because that's how I drive, that's how I shift, that's how I throw a ball, that's how I've had overuse over the years. It's predominantly the hand that I utilize most of the time for any stretching I do for anybody else as well. So it's an area that you want to think about as you're doing this with me. Is when I'm on my left side, it's really my right side, so my right side is really not doing too well, and I can tell that. So that's why I'm showing these exercises today. And again, I'm pushing those fingers back, and you can use the entire palm, you can use your fingers, you can use your thighs to try to get those fingers back. As you can see, it's not back, so I want to try to get back and get a good stretch. And where I'm feeling this right now is I'm not necessarily feeling it in my wrist, and they're up and down, looking good right there. Same thing on the other side, so at least I got some symmetry there. And then if I take that pinky, you can really see there's signs there too. So I can tell my left side, there's probably not as much overuse, which this is my right side to you, but it's my left side. There's probably not as much overuse as the other side because this side is the predominantly side that I use throughout my lifetime or throughout my journey to this point, and I can really feel it, and I can really feel that discomfort. So again, focus on the areas, have some symmetry. So if you're noticing one side is not as discomfort as the other, well, that's because the side that you're probably has the most discomfort in is the side you use the most. So then let's go to that motorcycle stretch again to get the carpal tunnel. So again, the real key of that C stretch is really to get those fingers stretched out as well as you keep the thumb connected to one of those fingers. And then get those fingers stretched. That's the real key to doing that stretch and getting the stretch for that carpal tunnel as well and the arthritis. So now we got that motorcycle stretch where I'm just gonna, circle around like this. And I'm going into that C stretch again where I have my fingers all locked into that thumb. I'm creating, right, see through, and then I'm just hitting the wrist. Almost like a flick. If you played any basketball in your days or you played baseball, you just flick of that wrist and back up. Flick of the wrist, back up. And if I put it here, back up. And again, you're trying to really hit the carpal tunnel there, or you can get an entire grip of the fist, motorcycle it out, and you're going to feel the tendons and the muscles right through here engaging as you put the off hand, which I have my right hand, and I'm feeling the clicking. You can face it forward. You can go fishing with it. And it's really that motorcycle aspect where you're just trying to flip it back and forth, and you're just trying to keep it so it's flexible. So like if you do fall, you're able to grab that wrist and you're able to get good extension, but you're also able to get good flexion as well out of it. So again, you can put it into the C position. Really work on the arthritis of the fingers as you do this as well. Or you can do a full grip of the fist and flex it out. Again, whatever you do with that left side, you want to do that right side. So you're creating that C again. Same thing we kind of were doing earlier. The only difference is we're not creating the OK. We're just taking every finger and placing it on the thumb. Yeah, you can probably see that bruise on that thumb. Pavers hit my hand with a rubber mallet. Imagine that. At least I'm not like my wife, and I take the big paver thing and I start slamming it down, and she hits her foot. So how do you hit a foot? I don't know. With like a 6x6 area, you hit your foot. That we'll just move on. My oh my. So the OK, drop down, flick that wrist, or complete wrist, complete fist, motorcycle it out. Both sides. Again, you're really focusing on the carpal tunnel aspect, and you're focusing on the wrist. Now, if you want to add the fingers, work on the arthritis, and work on the carpal tunnel, you're just flicking it. Motorcycle on it, you can do both. You can put an OK and do it. You can take the middle finger and do it. You can take the ring finger and do it. You can take the pinky and do it. Yeah, I'm like a little dinosaur. No, but we want to get the motorcycle, rev that engine, get the C's, stretch those fingers, arthritis, carpal tunnel. You can prevent some of the symptoms of exacerbating, continuation of it, overuse over time, based upon what we do, it's going to happen through this journey. It's impossible to prevent it because no matter what you do intrinsically, there is going to be some breakdown. And that's all I have right now. So peace. My time is up and I'm always humbled by yours. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you found this a little bit educational and a little humorous at the end with the motorcycle into the whatever you want to call that. Peace, my friends. Have a great day.